Space, the final frontier. Hello there, I'm Fenrac Z, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Starting a new game right away. Gonna hop in here. Yeah. I am doing a post-recording. In fact, this is my first time ever doing a commentary on a video, so make sure to leave a comment if you do like the video, and go ahead and hit that like button for more. Jumping right in, we're gonna see all the flags that we can choose for a space agency. Yeah, for those who don't know, this is a game where we're basically gonna create our own space agency, like NASA or ESA. I know there's a Chinese one that I don't know of. Actually, I see a NASA flag there. But anyways, I did download a few new flags for this game. I should note that this is not vanilla gameplay of Kerbal Space Program. I have a bunch of mods installed that I'm gonna have a lot of fun with, and hopefully you guys will too. So, anyways, I believe I ended up choosing, that flag. Like I said, this is post-commentary, so I'm doing this after the game. I know you guys don't want to see all this. I'm setting the difficulty settings, etc. You guys don't want to see that, so I went ahead and skipped ahead through that. So, ignoring that, I'm gonna hop right into the vehicle assembly building, where we will make our first ever spaceship. This is... yeah, we're probably going to be spending a lot of time here during this series. Go ahead and grab our command pod, and speeding up the footage an awful lot. So, so you guys don't have to see me tediously build every single rocket. This was kind of a short build, but I also played around with a bunch of mods and stuff during the end, so I figured you guys didn't want to see that, so. We are going to... yeah, lights out mod, time warp mod, smart editor enhancements, I believe that mod was. Yeah. If you guys didn't figure it out, I have a lot of mods installed. That's gonna be fun. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead and roll this out onto the launch pad. Our finished little rocket, just a basic capsule with a solid rocket booster, fins to keep it straight, and some goo for science. Fun, fun. I forgot about this. A rocket caught on fire on the launch pad for some reason. Probably gonna confuse anyone who hasn't played this game before. That does not generally happen when you start a launch in KSP. That's not supposed to happen. I don't know what mod did that. Some mod made my rocket catch on fire on the launch pad. I don't know what it was. It didn't do any damage to my rocket. It was just a fire texture that started. And I think eventually it happens again when we land back in the water. I don't know what mod did that, so I'm gonna try to figure that out, do some troubleshooting. In the next episode, I think I am gonna have a few less mods. Of course, that's only if you guys want a next episode. If you guys, do leave a like if you like this footage. I have no idea how it's gonna do on my channel. Just trying to see what happens on YouTube, what the people like. I haven't gotten a lot of feedback, I just wanted to get this up there, so. Editing is hard. Took me a while to get off the launch pad, I remember. A lot of extravehicular activities. A lot of checking out mods. I had a time warp mod. I was still a little bit beleaguered by whatever mod caused that fire to catch. I have no idea what that was. But anyways, we get there eventually. So, commentary. This is my first time ever doing a commentary on this channel. It's also my second video, but you know. Last video I did use captions. Captions take a lot more time and effort, but I don't like the sound of my voice on recording, so do tell me if you guys like it. Yeah, I always loved the insides of the capsules in KSP. They're so well detailed. And finally, we're getting out our brave explorer, Jebediah Kerman, on the launch pad, taking an EVA report for science. We're also gonna grab the science from the mystery goo capsule. Gonna get back in there. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm grabbing all the science from the outside of my spacecraft and putting it in. So basically if anything happens to this, then I'm still gonna have all the science safe in my little capsule. Anyone who's played the game before probably noticed that there was a very different sound effect for taking off. I think it was Hot Rockets, a mod that happened to change the sound effects and textures for the rockets. Already we're out of fuel and all. That took us, what, 10 seconds to get to 10 kilometers? That was a really, really fast launch. But we're gonna angle ourselves so we splash down in the ocean, always a little bit safer than landing on land. And here we go. I do know I'm gonna be up here for a while, so go ahead and skip the video if you don't want to see me falling back to Kerbin. So, yeah. I'm saying so a lot. It's so awkward. Darn it. Anyways, falling back to Earth. No, I shouldn't say Earth. I should make a note that we are not in the solar system. This planet is not the size of Earth. It's a lot smaller, which means it's going to be a lot easier to get into orbit. Everything in this solar system is mini. It's a lot smaller. Right now we are flying over the planet Kerbin, not Earth. Instead of Mercury, we end up with Moho. Instead of Venus, we're having Eve as our planet there. Instead of Phomos and Deimos orbiting Mars, we have Ike. I'm getting nerdy here, so basically the point is we're not on Earth right now. Yeah. I also have the Real Shoot mod installed, which means that parachutes are going to be a lot more realistic, but also there's some parts that I don't like. It automatically sets limitations for how high your chute goes off, which I do not like. Say we were chilling out at Duna and pulled a parachute at 750 meters above the surface, we would probably smash into the ground. But that... Having played this game so much, I have played this game a lot. It's one of 2 games on Steam that I have logged over 1,000 hours in. I have played so much of this game, I love it to bits. I thought it would make a great first Let's Play for the channel. But I am probably confusing the heck out of anyone who has not played it before. I wish I could be better at explaining things. I'm horrible at explaining. It's time warping to touchdown. Ah. The textures on the water are so beautiful. Oh yeah. We catch on fire again when we hit the water. This happens in all the launches, all of the other launches. Our first 2 launches, our rocket catches on fire, and I have no idea why. It just does. Like I said, that's from some mod I installed. I'll try to figure out which one it was. Excuse me. Drink of the day is water. Delicious stuff. Hi. Excuse me. I do not usually talk for half an hour at a time, so this is gonna be, it'll take some getting used to, I will admit. Almost 9 minutes in now, yeah, and I'm already having trouble talking. I'm gonna need more water than I have. Lovely, got about 40 points of science, yeah. The screen that I'm looking at right now is really small, so I'm having trouble reading anything. I'm just trying to estimate and remember how much science I got from each little stint. Here, I'll see if I can... I am so sorry, I'm 12 years old. I'm gonna see if I can make it bigger in the next episode. Gosh, I can't see any of the parts I'm unlocking because the screen is so small. Not that it was small when I played it. Oh gosh. I'll stop now. Not that the screen was small when I played it. I have a nice big monitor, but I'm looking at the footage right now in Adobe Premiere, which is my editing software, which means that it's a little bitty screen, and I'm trying to read and look at how much science I have and how much science things cost. Fins, decouplers. These are all good things that I'm gonna want for my space program later on. Radial oxygen tank from Universal Storage. I think I've uninstalled Universal Storage now. Yeah, it's weird because I'm currently recording my voice like several days after this. So we're gonna hop right back into the VAB, sorry, and we're gonna make our next rocket. So this one I'm aiming to have go out of the atmosphere. Like, as I said, we're not playing in career mode, so we don't have any contracts that we're going to be accepting to try and get it to go out of the atmosphere or something. Oh yeah, I installed D-Magic as well. D-Magic Orbital Science. That's one of my favorite mods. I feel it makes the game a lot more realistic. Really helps with the science aspect of the game. I never feel like I get enough science from missions. So just a little bit more science here and there from D-Magic Orbital Science never hurts. And my favorite part about this game is definitely the science part. I love doing science experiments every day, every launch that I do. It's all about science for me. Don't get me wrong, career mode has been a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun with career mode, but it's gotten to a point recently where with all the mods that I install and uninstall, I have to frequently restart games because I'm bad at saving backups, and it gets tiring after a while to go to the moon again and again. Well, the mun, I should say. Kerbin does not have the moon, it has the mun, M-U-N, for some reason. Actually, Kerbin has 2 moons, unlike Earth. Yeah. I'll try to explain a little bit more about the planets as we go there, but right now, we're just gonna see what we can do to get out of the atmosphere. Rocket catching on fire again. I'm sorry about that. We'll see what we can do about it next episode. I think I found the mod. Destruction Effects is the mod that I think was causing the rocket to catch on fire, and I went ahead and uninstalled that. But I don't know if that's gonna work. It could be hot rockets. That was my other thought, that it might be hot rockets causing them to catch on fire, but we'll figure it out eventually. So, science on the launch pad, taking temperatures, barometric pressure. Science, science, science. We're all about science in this game. Exploration and science is what we live for. So, go ahead, blast off. Oh, that was such a nice effect there. I actually saw Jebediah's portrait in the bottom right. You can always see your little Kerbals in their spacecraft, but I saw it light up. That was from engine lighting, I think, but it actually makes the rockets produce light, and hot rockets change the sound effects as well, so I have a lot to make rockets look and sound better, which is good because we're going to be seeing a lot of them. So, starting a gravity turn, hopefully, we have enough delta V to get into orbit. I have a little bit over 3,000 delta V on this, which, if I make a good gravity turn, I should be able to get into orbit with this spacecraft. I know that most people would use around 4,000 delta V to get into orbit, but we're not going to be doing that right now. I'm sorry. Most people probably don't even know what delta V is. Gosh. So, delta V is basically just how much fuel... Oh, gosh. That was weird. And my rocket's on fire again. So, I think it is the destruction of parts that makes things catch on fire. I don't know what that's about. You can see I'm going very fast right now, almost 1 kilometer per second, which is very, very fast. I think I might have made my gravity turn a bit too shallow. I'm scared that we're going to fall back into the atmosphere. We're already at 2/3 fuel on our second stage, so I'm not sure how well things are going to work out. Which makes me sad. I wanted to get to orbit. Another day, Jebediah. Another day. Head into map view. Yeah, our apoapsis is not high enough at all. So, I'm going to try to familiarize everyone with the terminology. The apoapsis, that's the highest point in our orbit. Everything is also in metric, so we're going to have to get used to kilometers instead of miles. I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah. I've always been mad that America lives on miles and feet instead of meters and kilometers. I found kilometers to be so much more easy to understand. Yep, just doing a final burn to... Yeah, it was about now that I realized that my apoapsis was not nearly high enough to get myself into orbit. On Kerbin, the atmosphere ends at 70 kilometers up, and you can see that I'm already at less than half fuel, and my apoapsis is only, I think it was 52,000? Either way, yeah. We're not nearly high enough to get into orbit right now. So, it looks like the other people were right after all, and I need 4,000 Delta V to get into orbit. Anyways, like I said, another day, Jeb. We'll be back. Trying desperately now to speed up to orbital velocities, but it's not happening. I don't have the fuel in this ship to get there. We're going to fall like a stone back into the atmosphere. Knowing what happens in the future is a lot more fun. Making a final last-ditch burn. It was about now that I realized I was not high enough to get into orbit. I know I said that a bit ago, but I realized that I'm basically screwed at this point. Last-ditch effort to get up out of the atmosphere, please. And our rockets got out. Oh, no, not out. Now they're out of fuel. So, completely out of fuel, going at roughly 2,100 meters per second, orbital velocity on Kerbin. The amount of speed it takes to get into orbit. Oh. Huh. Didn't I just... It took me a long time to realize. There we go. I just realized that I had ditched my mystery goo capsules on my other stage. I had left all the juicy science falling back into the atmosphere, doomed to explode. That was a facepalm moment. But anyways, something a little weird happened as we were re-entering the atmosphere. Everything started heating up. I know it's not quite under the heat shield, but everything started getting very close to blowing up, and that made me very nervous. I don't know what was actually happening. I don't know what mod, or maybe it was just the placement of my science parts. We're still going up at this point in time. But as we fall back into the atmosphere, you might have noticed those temperature gauges pop up when we released that second stage. I don't know what that was about, but it seems like everything is a lot more sensitive to overheating with whatever mods I have installed. So, again, I'll look into it, but I could live with more heat shields if I have to. Right now, I'm just checking out all the different mods that I have to see what's what. Not a lot is that exciting right now. I should have skipped this part of the recording. I don't know why I didn't. Gosh, I already finished my water. I had a full glass of water when I started recording. I still have 10 minutes to go. Ugh, I'm gonna kill my voice. But, speeding up time, seeing how we can go back in the atmosphere fast. EVE and Scatterer are two mods I have installed. The visual mods, you might have noticed my water looked really pretty when I was coming down to land that first launch. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, like I was saying, I have two visual mods installed. Something's exploding. My second stage sounds like, yeah, all the debris, my poor mystery goo capsules, all exploding. Pretty uneventful. lot of people don't know this, but when you're coming back into the atmosphere, it gets really hot because all the air that you have to push aside at the front of your science lessons with Fenrac, all the air that you have to push aside from the front of your capsule, it has to go somewhere, and it can't move aside fast enough because right now I'm still going at 1,700 meters per second, over a kilometer a second. The air can't get out of the way fast enough. So what's happening is it's compressing against my spacecraft really, really hard, and it's heating up because of that high pressure, and it's causing, basically, I'm becoming a giant ball of fire plummeting back into the atmosphere. So, if you've ever seen a shooting star, that's actually what's happening, is it's falling back to the atmosphere. Well, I shouldn't say back, it's falling through the atmosphere. It's not re-entering, it's just entering. But that's why shooting stars look like stars. They're actually just meteors falling to Earth. But basically, as they go through the atmosphere, they catch on fire because they're compressing the air, and they're going really fast. So we're slowing down to about 800 meters per second now. Or is that 600? Yeah, that was 600. So 500 meters per second and falling. Should be able to deploy the parachute soon. Time working a bit. I'm sorry that it happened at night. I didn't mean to re-enter at night. I'm blind. I'm just as blind as you are right now. The altimeter in the top of the screen is the only thing telling me how high from the ground I am. So this is real shoot coming into play again. It's saying I'm too high up to deploy my parachute. Neener. That's the only part of real shoot that annoys me. Everything else about real shoot is really nice. It's a love-hate mod for me. I've always had some trouble with it. But now we're finally deploying our parachute. I think we got down to like, what, 1 kilometer before we actually deployed it fully? It was pretty stressful, because I was falling, and I realized, oh hey, I'm only like 1,500 kilometers up, I should probably do that. I got out, and there's something weird that's been happening on Kerbin. My Kerbals always start overheating for some reason. I tried putting on my EVA suit and stuff, but I don't know why this was happening. But it seems like everything is like extra hot or something, or like the heating effects have been exaggerated in the game by some mod. I still don't know what that is. But anyways, we're just a few hundred meters off the ground now. Actually, we should be coming in for the ground. The altimeter displays sea level, so it's not actually showing us what we need to know. Excuse me. Falling back to the ground. Ah! Yeah, I've been noticing that new sound effect. I think that's also from a mod. A few sound effects here and there, a few mods. Taking some science, EVA, real quick. Check what's what. Huh. That light was a little bit weird. Yeah, at night your Kerbals have... I should probably explain what Kerbals are, too. Yeah. So these little green guys, little green aliens, they're all dolts, dimwits, dips. Dumb Kerbals that really, really like space, that live on the planet Kerbin. Basically, this game is about aliens who want to go to space. That's the premise. And somehow it's a fun game. Whew. It always gets really loud really fast when we go back. Checking out the science, checking out what we can do with the science. Tracking station, research and development. Research and development is basically our lifeblood in this game. This is where we can spend those hard-earned science points to unlock new parts. I should probably explain the game mechanics a bit more. Yeah, don't have quite enough science to buy any of the good things, so we're just gonna buy stability and call that a day. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end this episode here. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye!